In Pennsylvania, a huge battleground state that you know, a squad member, Summer Lee, wins the Democratic House primary in Pennsylvania. She's been very vocal about not just her support for freeing Palestine, but a lot of rhetoric people find extremely offensive, called for the ceasefire before the IDF even had a chance to retaliate for October the 7th. You know, and some say this is a real interesting case here of what voters, at least in the battleground state, may be accepting of. It's scary and shocking because we also see the Jew hatred spreading across our nation. Are you concerned about this type of, candidate actually making a play?
Well, I am concerned about the current state of the Democratic Party. Look, we can have differences on Democrats want to give away everything for free and have wealth redistribution. And we're going to have some fundamental differences of opinions when it comes to policy matters. But there's no place for this hatred. And what we're seeing, whether it be there with that particular candidate in Pennsylvania, whether it be with what's happening at Columbia University, the fact that they've now canceled in-person classes for the rest of the semester, which, by the way, if I'm one of the parents who's shelling out, $70,000, $100,000 a year, I'm asking for a little bit of a refund. But we also see what's happening with Joe Biden in Michigan, with the Arab American community that's attacking Biden. There's so much hatred and divide within the Democratic Party right now. I don't see how they go and pull themselves away from it. A lot of this, quite frankly, is happening because of the economic problems that are making everyone's lives more difficult here. But also you look at the Middle East, where we had peace and prosperity with President Trump, and now we have Gaza, which is on fire. We had the horrific attacks of October 7th against Israel, the terrorist attacks. We see the Iran attacks against Israel. Yeah. None of this happened under President Trump. It's all happened under Joe Biden.
It has. And now, some of these folks here are at our doorstep with the wide open border. AOC saying they're peaceful. Ilhan Omar's daughter arrested in the group here. Sitting members of Congress really giving this an okay check mark with them. It is incredible. Before we let you go, Donald Trump meeting after court yesterday with the former Japanese Prime Minister Taro Aso, talking about obviously what we know is a very important U.S.-Japanese alliance. There's a lot of questions about China and Taiwan over there in the South Pacific. And he also met with Poland's president last week, Andrzej Duda. So he's making some big plays here. It's interesting. I think no one is not noticing that the leaders around the world are making time to sit with President Trump, despite the fact he's tied up in a courtroom for some of his time.
Yeah, Bianca, this is a really important point, because what you notice are these foreign leaders or the foreign dignitaries, and you can also add folks such as David Cameron and Liz Truss from the UK. There are obviously President Milei from Argentina. You've seen others that have made the pilgrimage to see President Trump, but they're coming to President Trump. Leaders around the world and representatives from their governments are saying, President Trump looks like he's coming back to the White House. We want to make sure that we're on good terms, but it's also a sign of respect. I really think this is something Democrats don't want to talk about, and many in the mainstream media, is that the world was in such a better place, whether it comes to trade issues, whether it be the safety and security, such a better place around the world under President Trump that people are looking for that to come back. Bianca, when we have a weak America, the rest of the world devolves into chaos. That's what we're seeing right now with Joe Biden. And ever since that disastrous withdrawal from Afghanistan, everything's been on fire. We see Putin going into Ukraine. We see the Hamas attacks against Israel. We see China's aggression in the South China Sea. We need a strong America, and we need a strong President Trump back in to do that.
And, he's meeting with leaders. He's also getting greeted at bodegas and rallies by just real Americans. No one really showed up at all to Tampa yesterday at that abortion clinic. Very thin crowd for Biden. Final question here, Jason. How's the president holding up? Obviously, a big case tomorrow, Supreme Court. He's been obviously tied into this. How's his mood these days?
He's doing a lot better than I would be doing, to be honest with you. I'm with the president every day in court in New York. And the way that he comes out of these court hearings, just even stronger and more ready to go to fight for this election, to show people that he wants it badly. Yesterday, let's take yesterday, for example. He's up early and he's doing television interviews with outlets from battleground states. And then obviously last night he had the event with the former prime minister from Japan. President Trump is not going to allow Joe Biden and these Biden trials to slow him down at all. They might force him to be in a courtroom during the daytime hours, but whether it's early, whether it's late, whether it's Wednesdays, whether it's weekends, President Trump is not going to be stopped from campaigning. He's superhuman. I don't know how he does it, but I just try to follow in his lead. And I'll admit sometimes I have a tough time keeping up, but he's a machine.